What are you waiting for? Why not now? Why not now? Why not actualize and experience your own personal Mecca? What is it, quite frankly, that is actually holding you back from taking these steps forth in the direction that you'd like to go, to actually bring to fruition that which is most important to you? Because the truth is that we all have a finite amount of time to experience life in its abundance. And if you're not taking steps in the right direction, you're probably taking steps in the wrong direction, or at best, frankly, you are merely stagnating in a neutral position. But the truth is that the path of passivity is still a decision. And so indecision is the decision. It just ends up being the de facto decision that makes you spin the proverbial wheels and not actually gain traction in this life and go in the direction that you'd like to go. Now I'm looking at, it's actually like this little family of kangaroos right now. I just arrived in Australia yesterday, just trying to get over the jet lag in this moment. But those kangaroos are really just a microcosm of something for you, something that you'd like to see in your life. In my scenario, I have a great mentor and now friend who I've wanted to team up with and create content with for a number of years. And frankly, as someone who fancies myself as really well versed in personal development, right? Abraham Maslow's self-actualization, Jason actualization, the name of this channel, it's something that I actually take on in a sense as an identity. You know, this idea of seeking betterment, self-actualization, getting the most juice out of the squeeze of this life. But even someone like myself who's been at this for 8 years now, just optimizing my endocrinology, just taking nutrition really seriously, meditating, cold approaching girls, really just trying to become, frankly, the best version of myself. Even I have my own blinders. I have my own blind spots, things that I need other people ostensibly to illuminate. I need to have the open-mindedness and humility to actually see that perspective so that I have a more comprehensive, holistic picture, so that I have like a 360 view on my life. And the reason this is important is because we all have our own version of that. And my version was being a pharmacist for the better part of half of a decade, dispensing drugs that I couldn't ultimately hang my hat on. You know, I wasn't really passionate about dispensing medications that could effectively be likened to Band-Aids. You know, the analogy that I like to give is your mechanic doesn't just put a piece of duct tape over the indicator light that may potentially be present when you bring your vehicle to him, because that's simply just diffusing the smoke, but it's not actually putting out the fire that is giving rise to such. And what I'm really passionate about is axiomatic, in a sense, self-actualization, like really getting to the kernel core of what it is that actually renders deep level identity change. So maybe if you don't have a lot of confidence right now, if you're not good with women and you're just a really shy, stifled introvert like I used to be, and maybe you just want to be more outgoing, feel at ease with yourself, confident in your own skin, I want to actually teach you the fundamentals of how to actually fix your frank feminized physiology so that you can actually improve yourself at the deepest core fundamental level. And so that we're not just playing these games of masking symptoms, we're actually becoming the fucking man. And so the corollary to that would be, at least as a pharmacist, was I really helping people become healthy? Or was I just helping them kick the proverbial can down the road, knowing that eventually they're gonna have to pay the piper someday? And that someday could be something approximating the fatal myocardial infarction, the fatal heart attack that my mom's cousin experienced prior to the age of 60. And you know, just weeks prior, I had been expounding upon the detrimental impact of the seed oil riddled processed packaged foods that were effectively the heart and soul of a family gathering that, in this case, my mom's cousin and his wife Laura were at. And this is the point, is to not eat the seed oil riddled foods. It's to embrace saturated fat, to minimize PUFAs, right? This is just one example of a core fundamental truth that if you not only understand, but you actually embody, you actually assimilate and integrate that into your life, you're actually going to change yourself at the fundamental physiological level. And of course, that being said, more so than dispensing drugs that address those surface level symptoms, as a pharmacist for 5-6 years, this is what I'm saying, guys, is that that's what I did for over 5 years, consulting for a long-term nursing care pharmacy, essentially doing work that was fundamentally antithetical, at odds with what I fundamentally believe. And look, like, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. I'd like to think that I affixed the label to the pharmacy pill bottle that I was dispensing. I'd like to think that I did that in the best way possible, right? I'd like to think that I make my bed in the best way possible, knowing that as I go out and interface with life, with the world, with other people, that then is going to allow me to put my best foot forward, and realizing that the practice of excellence is something that you can then embody. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how excellent I was or was not as a pharmacist. It's the fact that there was a glass ceiling to the effect that I could actually bestow the world with. And it's just the fact that that was fundamentally incongruent and at odds with the person that I've become because of the aforementioned 8 years of just hardcore, intense personal development, which is what I'm very, very passionate about. And a lot of the mindsets that I've assimilated on this journey were just not being put to use in the arena of pharmacy. But look, as someone who, as I said, fancies himself really astute and well-versed in self-help, you know, it took getting let go from a job that I deemed to be really comfortable, really lucrative, a job that I was stuck in the comfort of, for me to, in a sense, lose everything, which then freed up my hand and made it possible for me to grab anything, man, and just take life by the horns and just really live a life that is in alignment with what I believe and the impact that I want to actually put forward. So the question is, what is your version of that? What is the personal mecca that you would like to experience, to actualize, to bring to fruition, to really just stand before? This idea of closing your eyes and just imagining a better world. Just do that right now. Let's just close our eyes and imagine a better world and a better place to operate from, a better character for which we could contend with life and its inevitably adversarial encounters. We're just closing our eyes right now and we're just imagining that. And then in 5, 4, still imagining, 3, 2, 1, we could just open up our eyes and actually see that world and step into it. And so we don't just have sight, we have vision. We don't just, as Wayne Gretzky would say, play where the puck is. We play to where it's going and we take steps in that direction. And that's all I've ever wanted for you and anybody who has the pleasure of walking the face of this planet, is to move in the direction that they'd like to bring about betterment in their life, to live, love, and lift more today than they could yesterday. I love you very much. Thanks for checking out today's video. Drop a comment down below, my friend. Like and subscribe for more content like this. We're going to the promised land together. I'm going to take you by the hand. We're just going to walk past the smoking wreckage, and we're going to find ways to, as I said, love, lift, and live more today than we could yesterday. Become more at ease with ourselves, more confident and comfortable in our own skin. I love you very much. I appreciate you immensely. And until next time, my friend, find your freedom. Peace.